kind of a legend in her own mind. To Kat Osterman, you've heard of her?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, we
Kat-
had
Oh,
her.
she's been on the podcast.
She's been on the pod. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's really nice, really sweet.
Yeah,
good for her.
yeah.
For being here.
Yeah, really proud of her
Yeah.
for coming out. Her and Janae are going to be here.
I can't wait for Kat to see this and be like, I hate you guys.
Sorry, Kat. Her and Janae are going to be signing, and then Saturday we'll have some really cool talent. At 4:30, Aaliyah Andrews and Sam Fisher.
Sam.
She is cool.
She is really cool.
Yeah, you can pick her out of a crowd with the bun really easily.
Yes.
So
It's good to be spotted, especially if
Yeah.
you're a shorter person like
Yeah.
me. It's good to just be able to look up and see, okay, there.
It's like
I
a
know.
landmark.
I know that's where my friend is.
Yeah.
Right there.
For sure. And then we've got through championship week, June 3rd, we're going to have in the gift shop Rachel Garcia, friend of the program,
Legend.
backdoor curveball that gives you nightmares.
It hurts.
Followed by on Tuesday, June 4th, Kat and Rachel Garcia, a duo you do not want to be in the box against.
Oh my gosh.
Wednesday, Rachel Garcia and Sis Bates.
Oh my gosh.
Like if my heart could come out of my body and rest right there, it's Sis
It's
Bates.
with Sis Bates for
And
sure.
she'll be here again on Thursday, June 6th. So come to the gift shop, meet these amazing players, get some autographs, and yeah. So you wanna talk a little bit about the World Series?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're here for.
It's literally the whole reason why we're here.
Yeah.
Which is a great time.
And to spend some time together. We already had
Yes.
McDonald's, you guys.
We did. That was our pre-game, pre-podcast meal was McDonald's.
We had to get ready.
McDonald's, if you're listening right now,
We've never been more serious.
a small donation
Sam Fisher, Haley McClenny.
to USA Softball and the Base Hits and Banter podcast
We-
would go a long way.
Yeah.
Free cheeseburgers for life. It's honestly all I need.
Would represent them better than us?
No one.
Okay.
The content would be like elite.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying.
Elite.
Do it. It's in your best interest, McDonald's.
So speaking of elite, really healthy meals, let's get into some of these elite athletes that are out here
Let's
in
do it.
Women's College
We
World
get a
Series.
healthy serving of elite athletes.
We do, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention Alabama softball
Roll Tide, baby.
is in Oklahoma City. No one thought we were gonna do it. I'm gonna be honest. I had my doubts at points in this season,
That's the life of being a softball fan.
but what a turnaround! And we talk about this all the time. Like it's not necessarily the teams that have the best regular season that win the national championship all the time. It's the teams that get hot at the right time and make noise. And
Yep.
man, roll
That's not the
Tide
noise an elephant
elephants.
makes. That was better.
I don't know. Yeah, I covered the noise. That's
You're right.
That's what the mic's for. But Alabama is here playing
Yeah.
another really hot team in UCLA. Very excited for that matchup.
That
And
is-
of course, that's the game that kicks off
Yeah.
the World Series.
Yeah.
You want to talk about two like really historic programs? Obviously, like UCLA
It's
is
UCLA.
yeah,
Very
But-
silly.
but Alabama as well. Like
Yeah.
what a freaking matchup that's gonna be. So
I
that's
know.
what I'm obviously most excited for.
Well, I'm
Cheer on my
happy.
Tide and
I
what a run it's been.
you go in there, historic battle against Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
Where that those two programs can't stop meeting each other.
No.
Tennessee having the year that they had and the pitching staff that they had. I won't lie. I have been recorded saying I thought they were gonna win the whole thing.
I did
Tennessee.
too. We
Yeah.
we talked about it at length. Like who's
Yeah.
the team that you could see taking down Oklahoma?
Tennessee.
It was Tennessee because of the depth of the pitching staff.
Mhm.
But for whatever reason, and I think I know the reason, it's Jocelyn Brisky and Caleb Beaver
Man.
just quieting the offense that
My gosh.
in Knoxville. It was like completely unbiased. It was so fun to watch.
Oh no, I think everybody was part of the Crimson Tide.
Yeah.
Last weekend.
Yeah.
And Beaver, I'm glad you mentioned Beaver. She was so impressive.
So
Like
good.
100 million innings were played in that super regional, and it looked like they were fresh.
They just kept going.
Just fresh every inning.
It was unreal.
Yeah.
And we think about how many at bats we get off the pitchers when we play in our pro seasons and
Mhm.
like the adjustments that we make. Like how difficult it is as a pitcher
Yeah.
to keep getting the same hitters out over and over
So
and
impressive.
over and over for 14 innings.
Yeah,
Absurd.
whatever.
A 10 inning, a casual in game 2, a casual 10 inning relief appearance.
Relief.
Casual.
Oh my gosh.
That had
yeah.
to set a record.
No,
It might have.
100%.
I don't know if it did or not, but
I loved it. I love that 5 out of our 8 super regionals went to a game 3.
which is
And-
a record. That is a record.
You heard it here. And that is something that I think we talked about earlier before we went LIVE. And that shows how even the competition is, the playing field is this year. And now we're down to 8. And listen, it's going to be a really good week of softball.
It's gonna be so good. What's your? I would love to go through these matchups and maybe give like the people some keys to these games because.
Yeah.
Let's start with Alabama UCLA.
Okay.
What do you see?
I see fireworks.
Yeah.
I see fun. I see the pitching. Man, you got young pitchers at UCLA, and you've got veteran in Beaver at Alabama. You've got strong hitters. You've got kind of the full package for both teams, and they're both hot, right? Their foot is on the gas, both of them. So I can see this game opening up being like a 3-2 win or a 10-9 win. Like I like it's going to be close no matter how many runs are scored on either side.
Because I think both of them will match each other's energy and momentum.
100%.
Like, just like what you said, I think like
100%.
if somebody gives up a run, I think the other team is gonna be like ready, willing, and able to answer. For me, it's gonna be about the young pitching staff of UCLA. I mean, you're gonna have 12,000 people out at this ballpark. You also have Kayla Beaver's not young, but this is her first Women's College World Series experience. It was her first super regional experience last week, and she looked fine to me.
No, she was fine.
But this is a different environment. Like, I think I've told the story on the podcast of my first time playing here.
Right.
Like, I was literally puking in the dugout of nerves before I went in to play.
Yeah.
And stupid me, we were playing OU and thought, all this crimson is in the stands. That's so nice. We travel so well. And then I got booed all the way down the left field line.
Wrong crimson.
It's the wrong crimson. Oops.
Oopsies.
Yeah, we ended up winning the game, but it's still it's a crazy environment, and I don't think you can put it into words.
Yeah.
Until you actually walk on the field and feel that environment.
Yeah.
Good news for Alabama, you're not playing Oklahoma, so you get like a neutral fan base, right? Which
totally.
is great. But young pitching staff from UCLA, young pitching staff for Alabama in terms of World Series experience. So it's gonna be a good one.
It's gonna
be a really good one.
We're really kicking it off strong. What do we got next?
What do you feel about? Let's talk about your favorite college softball player, Nyjah.
Okay.
And her matchup with number 1 overall.
My goodness.
The Horns. What do you see there?
Listen, Nyjah. The way that super regional started, where Nyjah giving up a home run, which she had only done 6 other times.
It felt out of body.
It was
I didn't know what I was watching.
My goodness. Yeah, hitting it out of the she didn't just hit it out of the park. She said, "This ball will never be found again."
Little tiny Allie Newland.
Little Allie Newland said, "See ya, Nyjah."
Bye. I don't think the ball's landed yet.
No. It's on its way here.
It was
But I think watching the way that Nyjah does not get taken out of any games.
No.
That she was pulled from the game on Friday, and then she came back Saturday, Sunday, and said, "Not in my house. You let yourself in on Friday, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I deadbolted that door."
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And she's only a sophomore. I think, like, honestly, people forget that. Like, she is 19, 20 years old, and she has the emotional maturity to be like, okay, that was probably the worst game I've ever thrown in my career.
Yeah.
Give me the ball again.
Yeah.
Let me get back out there. Let me carry the team. And she did that.
She did.
And she shoved.
Yeah. It would, like, that. She's been, obviously, USA Softball Player of the Year.
Shout out.
Nyjah Kennedy, she has been great all year, and she took it up a notch. And to do that in May, leading into the World Series, like, I don't want to be Texas right now, but
I don't either. But Texas also, I think Texas getting challenged in the Super by
100%.
Texas A&M, I think is really going to help them, because when you come into the tournament as a number 1 overall seed, a lot of people are talking about you.
Yes.
You took the series from OU, like, obviously number 1 overall for a reason, and you, like, feel all this pressure of, well, are we going to lose to a 16 at home?
Right.
As a number 1? Right. Now I feel like that they kind of got that out of the way, went 3 games, got it out of the way, got, like, all the pressure out of the way, and pretty much the entire team is back from last year. They've played here. They know what this environment's like. I think they're going to be a little bit more free and settled versus I think what we saw against A&M, where it was kind of like, it just felt tight to me from them.
They came from behind in every game. That's
you know how hard that is?
A&M.
I know you know how hard that is.
Yeah, at LMU we were always behind. We didn't always come back, I'm telling you. But they were down every game. They were down every game.
They were, yeah, and
they said, whatever.
Who cares?
We got it. Like, that, I think, is if they were challenged and they rose to the challenge. And I think that like, those 2 teams going head to head, I think it's gonna be tight.
Yeah, it will be. I can see that game being like 2-1.
Yeah, completely.
Because Stanford's offense has been the question mark all year.
Yeah.
I mean, going into the Super Regional, I think they were 117th in the country in team batting average.
Yeah.
So that's not great.
It's not the best.
It's not the best, but when you have Nyjah, you automatically have a chance to win.
Yeah.
Like, any single game.
Totally.
So, pitching committee of Texas.
Yeah.
Elijah of Stanford.
Yeah.
Texas has a really deep offense.
Yeah.
That they lead the country in like literally every
All
offensive.
of the offensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does somebody take Najee Yard? Yes or no?
No.
I might agree with
No.
you.
And that's what I
And
think.
if somebody's gonna do it, it's gonna be Reese Atwood.
No, 100%. And that's what I think too is like they're going to need to capitalize on base runners, both teams. Like when you get a runner on,
timely hits,
move a
cash,
runner, poke a ball,
mm-hmm.
manufacture some runs because these balls aren't leaving the yard.
No, I
So,
don't think so.
all right,
Play
where
plan
do you want to go next?
Let's go Duke OU. Shout out to the Duke
Dude,
Blue Devils,
you guys.
making their debut out here in OKC.
Team 7.
I had a few Duke fans on my flight this morning.
Cute.
And they weren't basketball fans. They were softball fans.
It's about time, you guys.
Which is, welcome.
about time.
7 years later, you're gonna show
Yeah.
or something. No, I'm just kidding. But like, it's cool to see like all of the hype around a program making their first ever women's college World Series.
It's so
like
cool.
Like what?
I know. And the way that they have done it, they came out, I keep saying this to people when we're watching stuff, I'm like, Duke has been a team for 20 minutes.
Literally.
And they're here.
They're newborn.
They're barely holding their head up.
Yeah.
And they're out here like, whatever, I'm just going to play in the World Series.
Just
Team
hanging out.
7.
Team 7.
Just such a testament to Marissa Young and what she's built over there and the players that she brings in. Like, you can tell that they all are just so genuinely supportive of each other and just like, we want to win as a team. It's not about any of us, it's about the team. So I love to see that, and I think going against Oklahoma is just...
Welcome to the World Series.
Yeah, hey, you're here. You know where you are now?
Here you are.
You're in Oklahoma.
Here you are.
So I think for them, it's just a matter of maybe like figuring out a way to, because nobody's been here in this program. You can't talk about, the seniors are experienced because nobody's been here. So finding the way for them to go, okay, we're playing Oklahoma at the World Series. Like, it doesn't get bigger than that. So how can we find a way to bring ourselves down to earth?
Yeah. This matchup to me feels like David and Goliath.
100%.
It's the David and Goliath
Yeah.
matchup. It's a first ever appearance versus the 3-time defending national champions whose campus is like 20 minutes down the road.
Yeah.
Like it's David and Goliath. But the beautiful thing about a matchup like that is I feel like when you come in as the underdog, you have absolutely nothing to lose.
Not one thing.
Take a second before the game, enjoy the environment, like you said, like gather yourself, get yourself together, and then like once you step on the field in between the white lines, it's just about playing ball.
It's softball.
And you know who can keep Duke in any freaking softball game is Jayla Wright and Cassidy Curd. My goodness, Nija's movement and velocity gets a ton of credit as it should.
Yeah.
But when I was watching that Super Regional against Missouri and how Curd's rise ball was jumping with her velocity, like Mizzou had no chance. Straight gas. It was moving. It was crisp. The command there was elite. Jayla Wright's got really elite down movement. I think they complement each other so
perfectly
well. And I think to beat Oklahoma, you can't give them the same thing continually because they'll figure out whatever your game plan is and adjust accordingly.
Yeah.
When you have multiple options like that, you can keep yourself in a ball game, and all you need is one timely hit from a Claire Davidson or an Amina Vega or somebody just scrappy enough to get the ball out of the infield.
It's true. Yeah.
It could be close. I hope it's close.
We all do.
Yeah.
But I do think you're right. Like the complement of Curd and Wright with each other being different and being to where you're getting a different view. You're changing your levels with your vision for those hitters, and it's not great, especially righty and lefty. Like what a perfect combination
lefty
over
up
there.
Curve, righty down change.
Man, it's tough. And I think for Oklahoma, Oklahoma just needs to be Oklahoma. The key for them is to play the ball that they know how to play.
Yeah. I think when they are clicking on all cylinders, I do think they are the best team in the country.
Hard to argue against that with that senior class, the leadership they have, the girls who know how to win because they've only won. They're like these seniors have only know winning.
Literally never
they end their season every year on a win.
Right.
Like no, that doesn't happen to anybody.
That's absurd.
It's insane. They only know how to win. So
that's stupid.
Oklahoma, go out and be Oklahoma and do their thing, and they're going to be fine. And that leaves us with Oklahoma State, Florida.
Kenny Gajewski versus Tim Walton.
We love it.
It feels
Kenny
like,
and Timmy.
It feels like destiny. Those two go way back.
They do.
Both Oklahoma alum.
Yeah.
Played baseball there.
Yes.
There were so many Oklahoma ties.
I know. We're all just here. That's where we're all from, really.
Yeah. We got an interesting stat earlier today. I showed you this when the text came through of how many pitches Keegan Rothrock has thrown this
all of
year.
them.
3,800 total pitches.
So many pitches.
That sounds like an orthopedic surgeon to
Yeah.
me. Like, that sounds like a visit to the doctor's
Let's
office.
shout out those trainers over there down in
Big shout
Gainesville.
out to the Gainesville
Taking
athletic
care of
training
that.
staff. 3,800 pitches, I honestly can't comprehend. The second most is Caleb Beaver, who's
Mhm.
thrown 2,700.
The
So she has
significant-
thrown
Yeah.
over 1,000 more pitches than the second.
That's crazy.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Those youngins out there just
Listen.
be slanging it.
This thing's cracking all over it.
I know.
Just if I lean on it for too long.
I need like ibuprofen to
No.
get up out of this chair,
100%.
let alone throw 3,800 pitches over the course of a season.
I mean, it just shows the trust that Coach Walton has in the young arm. Like, hey, you know what? We're going to.
We're here.
You're gonna throw 3,800 more if you have to.
Unbelievable. Literally, and I think
Yeah.
that's going to be the key for Florida moving forward in
Yeah.
this tournament is how many innings can she give you? Will she run out of gas? I think
Mhm.
the worst thing that could potentially happen to Florida is having to play every single day.
Right,
So when
right.
you win, you get the bye, you can
Mhm.
chill out. So like Florida winning this game, I think is super important
Such a good point.
to make a really deep run.
It's a really good point.
But that's not going to be easy because on the other side you have
Okay.
Lexi Kilfoyle, who has been absurd.
Like I love.
Absurd.
She's so good, and I just feel like she's so unbothered when she's
She's so
pitching.
chill.
She's just like, yeah, I'm gonna mow you down, and then I'm gonna go into the dugout.
Right, big chillin'.
And I think that's what's I think made her so elite. Her stuff is great, but the composure that she has on the field to be able to mow down these hitters. I mean, they handled Arizona. They wrapped it up, put a bow on it, and said, we're gonna give ourselves a day, and we're gonna get ready for the World Series.
It's business as usual.
Yeah.
And I think we've talked so much about Texas and OU coming out of the Big 12
Yeah.
that I think Oklahoma State is like, they're just kind of sitting on the outside and
Yeah.
probably not getting the attention that they deserve,
Mhm.
but they're a really, really, really good
Yeah.
team that's experienced, that's been here
Yeah.
before, that's played in big moments, knows how to beat OU, took the series
Took
from
the series,
them in
yep.
Norman,
In
you
Norman,
know?
yeah.
Which not an easy thing to do.
No, it doesn't happen a lot.
Especially at that beautiful Loves Field Park.
Beautiful.
That's right down the road from here, where we are right now. But can Florida's elite offense get to Lexi Guilfoyle?
It's a good question, and I think that we saw them have a little bit of a struggle against Baylor.
Yes.
They were held, to lower scoring runs than we saw from them in regionals in the SEC tournament. So
Mhm.
I think that, they have the opportunity to say, we're going to leave that back there, and we're going to go and we're going to unleash these bats here. So
Yeah.
it's all a matter of maybe moving on from that, letting it go of like, we scraped across some wins, we did what we needed to do to get to Oklahoma City, and now here's our approach. Now we're going to go and we're going to hit, manufacture, send the ball at the park a little bit.
And Walton talked about that too when they dropped that game. He said in his press conference, he was like, this is the first time I feel like in the past few weeks where I felt like we were pressing.
Mhm.
I felt like we knew we were supposed to play better than we were playing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't free, loose, and
Yeah.
relaxed. And that's the biggest thing I think when you come here and play, regardless of who you are, is
Yeah.
like the ability to truly play free
Yes.
and not play with any pressure on you. That's what separates wins from losses
No,
in an
100%.
environment like this.
I think that's a really good time to transition into our old Banty Balance mental health conversation.
Let's transition.
I think it's so funny when you're talking about the mental part of winning games, losing games, playing games, trying to explain it to somebody who's not in the softball world. I've tried to explain it to Kevin of why the mentality matters, and I don't know how to explain it.
It's hard to put
It's
into
so
words.
strange where you're like, you gotta believe you can do it, and then you'll do it. But if you don't believe it, you might not do it. And he's like, why don't you just always believe it then? I'm like, that's actually a good point, but
Yeah,
it doesn't
but
work
it's
like
hard.
that.
But, well,
Yeah.
for you to believe something, you have to have something in your mental files to be able to pull
Some
from.
data, yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
if you've never been here, you don't know. You don't necessarily have it.
Yeah.
So
No,
you have to create it on your own.
softball players are so interesting. What are we doing?
What are we doing?
It's so hard.
We're just sitting in a gift shop with microphones and
Yeah,
a camera,
bantering.
just recording a podcast
It's so crazy.
about
But
softball.
thinking about being here, like you said before, 12,000 people are going to be here watching, and millions
Stupid.
more at home
Stupid.
are going to be watching. So, talking about like the composure, right? What are some things you played here in the World Series? What are some things that you feel like you did to help you get there? But also, what are some things you wish that you knew you could have done?
Well, I think even before I played in this environment, I remember so vividly sitting on the couch with my mom watching the World Series. And I had already committed at this point to play at Alabama. So, like, when you commit to a school like that, you're like, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go play at the World Series. And I forget who was playing, but we were on TV, or they were on TV. We were watching it in the living room, and so a girl got out, disagreed with a call or something she didn't like, and the camera, like, obviously, like, did what cameras do and followed her all the way to the dugout, and she didn't react probably appropriately. Like, she was a little upset, and I'm a player that plays a lot of emotion, you know that. And my mom looked dead in my eyes and was like, if you want to play on the biggest stage, you need to know that camera's always on you, and at some point someone is going to be watching you do that, and how you react is going to make a difference in a kid's life.
Oh my God.
I know. And I was like, cool, Mom, I'm like in 10th grade. That's awesome.
You're like, I don't even have my driver's license.
I just got my learner's permit, Mom, thanks. But I think you have to approach it like that, of like, you can see the stadium, you can see the fans, you can see the entire experience, and it can either make you feel really small in a really big moment, or it can make you feel really grateful to be able to have the opportunity to continue to push the game forward and like be an example for other kids. And I think that's one thing I wish I would have realized a little bit more when I was here, because you're so focused on the here and now of like, I'm winning this whole thing,
right?
No matter what. It's like tunnel vision. But when you see it from like a bird's eye view, like how much this has grown since I was here, since you played, like being able to think about the bigger picture, I think allows you to be a little bit more centered and relaxed when you step out onto the field. Yeah. Because if you are so tunnel vision and so focused, that's when you become tense. And that's when the moment gets way too big for you. No, that makes, I mean, that I love hearing that, because it's like you're playing for yourself, your university, your family, and then so much more. I can totally picture you guys sitting on the couch going through that moment where she's like, Haley. She's like, hey, baby girl, that camera's always going to be on you. Let me tell you something. That's literally, it was the sweetest thing ever. And it was, and she wasn't lying. The camera is always on you. It's very true. And I think that like those things too, just the flip of a switch of, man, bummer about that call, I'm mad I got out or whatever, can kind of like catch on with the team, take a team momentum away. It could give the other team momentum. Like there's so many things that can affect the mentality of the game and the momentum, and we saw that with Alabama winning their national championship with the rain. Never forget. Oh my gosh, what a moment! I was rain dancing in my living room. I was too. Yeah, I had a Diet Coke and was just freaking jamming, dancing in the rain. But we could go off on so many tangents. We really can. First of all, everyone that's listening needs to go watch the SEC Story documentary that they did on Bama SB. That's literally what it's called. It's called Bama SB, and the story of the national championship team. But that story, I think, is a perfect testament to what UCLA's motto is in the postseason. It's already written. Yeah, I do like that. I love it so much. Yeah. I'm adopting it. For sure, obviously. But I'm not rooting for them. Let's be clear. It happens. Let's be clear. Not rooting for them. I love them so much, but it's already written. Like, everything happens before it happens. And I think if you are playing in an environment like this, you have to have some sort of sense of peace, knowing that, it's regardless of what happens, this is an awesome opportunity. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you can't put too much pressure on yourself. Because at some point, you're going to be 30 and just sit in a gift shop talking about it years later. So you might as well just have fun while you're doing it. Speak for yourself. I'm 33, okay? I have two things. Number one, how do you feel about Natasha Bedingfield saying the rest is still unwritten? Oh, we should put it on a t-shirt. We should, okay. Chris, you're over here, right? Hey, Chris. So, on the back of these awesome shirts, we should have the rest is still unwritten. Yeah. And maybe we should have Natasha Bedingfield come. We could. And then we'll wear it to the UCLA game. Perfect. You say it's already written? I say the rest is still unwritten. You write it. Let's go. Are we okay? What's going on? Listen, they gave us microphones. This is their fault. They did. So, and it's live, so they can't even edit or stuff out. No, so. We're here. And I wanted to add, too, I think about, because as mentioned on this podcast, I never made it into a regional, so I don't know what it takes to get here on the playing field. But I do remember my very first tryout for Team USA. I would say it was kind of like the same kind of I would say stakes. It's the same thing, if not way crazier, more intense. That was in 2012, so I was at a tryout with literally Jackie Trina
and Kaylani Ricketts. I was like, I just watched you guys pitch against each other from my house. That was cool.
And now you had to step in the box.
Yeah, then I had to hit off them. But I remember talking to my dad before the tryout started because that was arguably the biggest stage I'd ever played on was this USA tryout.
Mm-hmm.
And saying, well, it's just softball. It's the same game that I've been playing this whole time leading up to here. I might be in different colors. I might, be in a different state. But it's the same game that I know how to play. And because I know how to play it, I'm here. And that felt real good.
Yeah. It's the same game.
I put my pants on the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was shorts, so I put my socks on first.
Throwback to shorts.
Yeah, we had the shorts on at tryouts.
Should we bring those back?
I had those,
those
the
back.
tan line where like the socks came up to here and the shorts came down to here,
Mm-hmm.
so I was real tan right there.
Right.
And yeah, you put your.
The mark of a fighter.
That's right. I've been through it. But put your clothes on the same way. Put your shirt on. Get your visor and go out there and play the game. So I think that kind of, I imagine playing in the World Series is the same kind of thing where you're like, relish in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
We have this great opportunity, and also you've been playing this game since you were a kid.
Yeah,
so
it's
the same game.
Because of that, you belong here.
Yeah.
You've been playing softball just as long as all of these other people have.
I've been playing softball longer than some have been alive.
Yeah, both.
That was rough.
That's hard.
We pivot. That was
Let's transition. We've got they gave us like shot sheets here, you guys, which is like so nice.
With our logo on.
Shout out to the staff here at USA Softball.
Woohoo.
We have a lot of USA Softball folks
That we do.
out here in OKC participating
That
in the
we do.
Women's College World Series. I'm just going to read off some of these.
Please, I would love to see
And it's
it.
also like a paragraph.
Yeah.
We've got Coach Tim Walton,
Heard of him?
national team assistant coach. Heard of him. Heard he's pretty good.
Yeah.
Jocelyn Erickson,
Heard of her?
who has like 1 million RBIs on the season, SEC Player of the Year.
Yeah, insane.
Skylar Wallace,
Yeah.
who was SEC
Also,
Player of the
yeah.
Year last year.
Yeah.
We have Tiare Jennings,
Duh. Doy.
home run queen
Hit so
times
many.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jada Coleman, one of the
Obviously.
best defensive outfielders I've ever personally seen play.
Robbing home runs left and right.
Everywhere.
Mhm.
Everywhere. She might as well just park behind the outfield fence.
Yeah, why
How
not?
many home runs she robs.
Yeah. Saving all those
She's
runs.
fun. Kenzie Hansen,
Just
a staple.
Yeah.
A vet. I feel like she's been a pro for 10 years.
no, same.
Yep. Kelly Maxwell,
Again. Just out here mowing down hitters.
Bowen, Lexi Kilfoyle.
Also, same. Same
Bowen.
review.
Speaking of Bowen, Nija,
When I tell
friend
you,
of the program.
I did not keep my cool when I saw her.
We're fangirling.
She went in
We
for a
love you,
handshake
Nija.
and I gave her a bear hug, you guys,
That's
and
fine.
that was how that
And if
went.
they win tomorrow, that's why.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
believe it. Taryn Kern, Stanford.
Gosh, them trees.
Maya Brady.
You can't talk softball without talking Maya
You
Brady.
can't talk softball without talking Maya Brady.
Bless.
Megan
What a
Grant, UCLA.
shout out to USA Softball for
I
picking
mean,
some good ones.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah,
So many.
win.
The future of USA softball, the future of professional softball,
It's as bright
here.
as this ring light.
it's here. It is as bright as spring light.
Yeah.
I might need some sunglasses.
If you guys think that our skin is glowing, that's because it is. We got the ring light.
It's all artificial. It's all fake. It's all fake.
You know what I think we should do right now, real quick?
What should we do?
Hey, Chris Sebring, you want to come over here real quick?
Yeah! It's a pop-up interview.
We have a pop-up interview. It says it right here on the paper.
Chris Sebring pop-up
He
interview.
knew this was on here.
Oh, God.
Come on, Chris.
Right in the
Chris,
middle, Chris.
if you guys want to know who's responsible for
It's this guy.
Chris.
Hey,
What's
Chris.
going
Come on, you're in the middle.
What do we got?
We just wanted to show people the face behind the magic that is Bases and Banter. What were you thinking when you gave us a show?
I'm not sure at this point. Being around you guys for so long, casual conversation, it just comes so easy.
It kind of felt like it should be recorded.
Yeah. We should,
We should take this.
yeah, we should tape it. It'll go in the archives of USA Softball. Eventually we'll have you guys in the Hall of Fame somewhere, right?
I hope so.
Probably talking. And if
Can you imagine us just like laughing our tails off
Yes.
and
More-
then
more
playing
of your
in the
mom's
Hall of Fame
voice.
museum?
I think more of your mom's voice. Yeah.
Hey, baby girl. The camera's always watching you,
And
baby.
that's really what it sounds like.
It
I've
is,
met your
yeah.
mom.
The,
So,
the sweetest Southern lady you'll ever
Yeah.
meet.
yeah.
This is Chris's podcast debut. We told him we were going to get him on. We were going to do it on Zoom, but then we were like, hey, let's go live. We're going live.
So
we're bringing Chris here. So the man behind the idea and so much of the things that happen at USA Softball is because it's Chris Seaburn. So we just want to thank you live in front of people.
Very thankful
That
for you.
this is so fun. Thank you. Now get out of here.
Exit stage
Exit
right.
stage.
Is that right or left? That's right, right? It's our right?
It's our right.
Is that how showbiz works?
I don't know. This is the only showbiz I'm in. And with that, folks,
That's showbiz, baby.
yeah. And you
Come
guys,
see us at the
come
gift shop.
see us.
Please.
We ran through the times. I can't read them again because the papers are on the floor.
Go through 'em. That's
We
how we
threw
wanted to close
them.
out
We
the
made
show.
it rain. And if you see us out here at games, also definitely come up to us. We are
Yeah.
ready and willing to banter with anybody.
Yes.
So, any closing remarks, Halo?
I just think that we can fist bump like in the flesh.
Oh my
And,
God.
close it out.
What a
So,
time.
Ready?
Did you guys want to see some crop tops that you could get at the USA Softball store?
I just threw my phone, I think. I don't know what that
Can't
is, but
express how cute this stuff is, you guys. And
it's already cropped for
I know.
you, Sam. You
I
don't
make-
have to crop it on your own.
I make my mom cut my shirts, and I think they took that into consideration because it's already prepared. So catch us wearing this stuff out at the World Series. Come
Yes.
on into the store. There's so many racks.
It's
you
also
guys.
the same material as my emotional support hoodie.
Hey,
So you guys know it's cozy,
Yeah.
it's soft,
and it's here
It's
in Oklahoma
here.
City,
live and in the flesh.
live and in the flesh. Halo doesn't have. I know it's weird that she doesn't have her hoodie on, but it's because she's using it as a pillowcase at her hotel.
That is true.
So
That's confirmed.
until we meet again, thank you for joining us.